What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Johnny. Back again with another video, another subscriber request. Today we're going to cover straight white male. And I just want to say, man, thanks for inviting me to the gang. Thanks for being so welcoming. I love the support. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Really, really appreciate you guys. I received a couple donations yesterday as well, and I'm extremely grateful. I'm not sure if anyone's okay with me saying their name on camera, so I'll refrain from that. And you guys can let me know if you're okay with me giving you a shout out, because I'm extremely grateful for every donation. It's going to go with just making the production better, and so I can give you guys a higher quality of performance of videos. I like to be extremely transparent before I start the video. And like I said, I grew up on Section 8. My mom had Section 8 from the time I was in 5th grade until my senior year in high school, where we were evicted because we could not keep our utilities on. And I just want to say, where I record these videos at right now is in the basement of that same Section 8 house. As an adult, when we got kicked out at 17, I always knew that I wasn't done living there. I had to, grow up and be a man on my own at 17 and get my own place. And that really is why I bumped my head, and life was kind of rough. But I grew up, I got things in order, everything fell in place, and now I live in the same house that my mom had in Section 8. And it's really like full circle. And I'm sitting here recording videos, putting them out on YouTube as a little black kid in a Section 8 house. You know what I'm saying? But now this neighborhood is nice. It ain't Section 8 no more, but whatever. Hit the like button for me if you can. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not. And if you like what you hear, share the message far and wide as we look to wake up the masses.
Straight white male, hate myself. Mad that my skin so pale. Got white privilege so I cannot fail. The world told me I'm evil stale. I break the law but I escaped the jail. My diet only mayonnaise and kale. I went to school and I paid my taxes. I used to grammar, I'm bad as hell. I'm not a Nazi. I like black people, black Jesus, black Santa, black coffee. I'm not a racist. I like Hispanics and Negroes and Natives and Asians. Black power says I'm the problem. Girl power says I'm the issue. Gay rights think I'm trying to stop them. I'll let y'all tripping, I'll get you some tissues. Y'all have been painting me villainous. I'm not the one setting fire to your villages. I'm not the man that is raping and pillaging. I do not care if my neighbors are immigrants.
Banger. Hey, just pause it right there. I do want to say, before we get too deep into it, man, shout out to my white guys, man. Y'all under attack like never before. Like y'all public enemy number one on a crazy level. I always say they handled the black man a while ago. They got him out the way. They handled him with the lust for women. They gave him unlimited drugs. They did a bunch of stuff to keep his mind occupied. And now they're coming for white guys. So I want to say, stand strong, stand tall. Be comfortable saying what you feel out loud. And a book for all guys to read, whatever color, before I jump back into the video, is No More Mr. Nice Guy by Robert Greene. Let's go.
Pillaging. I do not care if my neighbors are immigrants. Maybe all whites look the same and you think that I'm somebody else. That's cool. Honestly, I think that everyone looks alike if they aren't white, and I'm sorry, it's true. Straight white male. I have it all, I'm the one that you love to hate. Straight white male. Police pull me over, I LOL in their face. Straight white male.
Hey, that was dope. And real quick, man, I probably got so many speeding tickets when I was a kid. I was reckless. I was disrespectful, and I was not raised that way. My father always told me, if I got pulled over by the cops, shut up. Keep my hands on the wheel and listen. But culture and rap music taught me to be disrespectful. It taught me the cops were racist. It taught me the white people were racist. So I was extremely disrespectful. I've been snatched out the car a few times. I've been through in paddy wagons. But I could always say it was my fault. If I would have shut up, I wouldn't have been through those situations. And once I grew up and I started being respectful to cops, I stopped getting tickets. What do you know? Like, they would just let me go on a have a good day. Thanks for the conversation. Everything changed when I changed. And I was reckless. I had to go to a live at 25 because I wouldn't stop speeding. I was one of the kids that was doing 110 down the highway, racing my friends. It ain't just white boys who do reckless things. But society would want you to think that black boys are just being picked on. And it's like, no, man, we regular boys. We all just want to try new stuff. I had a cousin who lived in the suburbs, and when we would go out there, they would TP houses. That's nothing we would ever do around my neighborhood. But where you live in, you understand the inner city, if you throw some toilet paper on somebody's house, they probably gonna come outside shooting. When we was in my cousin's neighborhood, we could TP houses and throw eggs and just take off running. And It was fun. I always thought white guys are cool, man.
Yes, I'm to blame for the life that you can't escape. Straight white man. It's so easy to be me, I'm feeling great. Straight white male, I'm so frail. Mama gotta pay my bail. Shotguns and meth are both on sale. I'ma need to treat myself. I only listen to country music. I only marry my second cousins. I only cry when my team is losing. I blame everything on the blacks and the Muslims. Y'all blame me for building the system. Y'all blame me for wages we're paying the women. Y'all blame me for rights that gay people not giving. You blame me for talking when I should just listen. You blame me the same me the praise that we winning and hate me for slavery. And lately I'm tripping that daily you shame me for having opinions on race in our country and everything in it. Fine, y'all don't gotta be my friends. Y'all don't gotta like white men. Y'all don't gotta hold my hand. Y'all don't gotta have my back. Y'all don't gotta see my side. Y'all don't gotta be down to ride. Y'all don't gotta do anything but ghost. And I'ma do me even when it's the most. Yeah. Straight white man. I have it all. I'm the one that you love to hate.
When did society get to a point where the white man became the enemy? You know, there always was the white man is the problem, but in reality, it's always been the government. And you could say, well, yeah, but there's always been white people in the government, white men. And I say, well, you put all white women in the government, or you put all black men in the government, or you put all whatever you want. You're still going to be able to scapegoat that group if it doesn't come out the way you want. And right now, if there's an all black male government, I'm sure the Muslims of the world will say the black government is trying to oppress us because everyone is going to look out for their best interests of their people. I honestly think, from my personal opinion, reading the Constitution, I don't see anything that prohibits a black person from advancing in today's society. I don't see anything that inherently benefits white men, maybe white women, maybe in some areas if you're a liberal white woman, but I don't know anything that it uplifts you if you don't toe the line. No, even if you're a feminist white male, you got a little power in this world. But if you're a man who's willing to stand on your feet, the Stone Cold Steve Austin, then you're considered the power hungry, evil, monster white guy. And my personal opinion is that I think black people currently have more privilege than white people. If we're being totally honest. Every company wants a black CEO. Every company wants a black face. Every company wants a black head. I get emails from my agent, and the commercials will specifically say no Caucasian actors, looking for black families, looking for mixed families. Society is out to put on this image that all you see is black and brown faces on TV, but all these companies are still owned by white people. So the wealth gap won't ever get closer. It's all the propaganda and trickery to pretend that white men are the problem. And as far as I can look back, it's always been Hollywood. That's never been run really by the standard straight white males, if that makes sense. They've always been the progressive, the more liberal guys who aren't really about family, country, and providing for themselves and their family. They're about trying to find a way to be daddy to the whole world. And a lot of those liberal men cater to women, which comes from mama's boy syndrome.
I'm the one that you love to hate. Straight white man. Police pull me over, I LOL in their face. Straight white man. Yes, I'm to blame for the life that you can't escape. Straight white man. It's so easy to be me, I'm feeling great. Man, you're so mean, you're so racist, you're ugly, you're so basic. You said that something, N-word, retard, Satan. I can't believe the bullshit song lyrics that you're okay with. Kill yourself while live on Facebook, I want the notification. I don't care, y'all ain't right. I'll be praying that you die. I'll be doing my own thing, I hope you're happy with your life. You're a Nazi, you're a moron, you're a huge waste of...
That's something I realize. White liberals are comfortable calling other white people crazy names. And one of my favorite quotes by Mike Tyson is social media has made it okay to disrespect people without getting punched in the mouth. And I come from an environment where you look at somebody the wrong way, they'll pull a gun out on you. So I don't agree with this talking reckless on social media at all, because people can pull up and find out where you are. Tracking your location is real. You can go look up a lot of people who done got off in some crazy ways, whether it's following them on a plane halfway around the world. I got a cousin, true story, committed a homicide, left the city, came back 15 years later. At 6 a.m., somebody showed up at his front door. He opened the door and they lit him up with bullets. This talking reckless and disrespecting people that these young liberals then got comfortable with, y'all don't know what y'all doing, because y'all gonna talk reckless and say the wrong thing to the wrong white or black male. And I can't wait to the day, you see at the NFL games that these young ladies, these liberal men are getting hogged. I know it's enough white guys that's tired of being talked to sideways. They're gonna start putting y'all in y'all place in a minute. And I'm not condoning violence by any way, but I'm talking about putting you in a place with your tongue. That at some point these men gonna start speaking up and saying what they truly feel. And then you're gonna be in an uncomfortable position. Because you're gonna be the one that want to get violent, and we're gonna turn the law. So all it is learning to use your emotions against you. Shout out to my guys once again.
My time. I'm just straight and white and male. I'm not the worst, I'm just a guy. Straight white male. I have it all, I'm the one that you love to hate. Straight white male. Police pull me over, I LOL in their face. Straight white male. Yes, I'm to blame for the life that you can't escape. Straight white male. It's so easy to be me, I'm feeling great.
Another fire track. I've always said, man, I don't know one white guy who's had just 100% perfect life. Like, I've just been waking up for 35 years and I've never dealt with one hard situation in my life. Just women lay down for me, men lay down for me. Society, just it's my world. You guys are just leaning. I don't. That's not true. I've seen Brett Favre work his ass off. Tom Brady ain't great because he's just white. Larry Bird wasn't great because he was just white. The Wright brothers weren't just great because they were white. Earl Nightingale, Napoleon Hill. I was raised that we wanted to be judged by the content of our character and not the color of our skin. And all we do is judge white people by the color of their skin. Now, how did we get so far away from what Martin Luther King was talking about? The fact that I can look at you and say, you white, so you're the oppressor, that you're my enemy. I personally think having the black superiority mindset is just as dangerous as anyone who does have a white superiority mindset, because we're humans. We're all connected in this thing together some weird, crazy way. I don't know how. I can't explain to you 100%, but I know me putting positive energy out into the world makes a lot of people feel positive. And I know if I was throwing mud and dirt at people, that would bring their self-esteem and their emotions down. And I also know when I throw positive energy out to the world, I receive positive energy back. As I've been invited into the gang, One of a quote that I think of Tom, because he's a very unique mind, and this quote, it's one of mine that I got hung up because I have to drill it in my head to be comfortable with myself and the way I think. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. That's an Albert Einstein quote. Because you have to when you think differently, when you're willing to stand up and express your thoughts and your feelings, the masses are going to be so uncomfortable. Not because what you're saying is wrong, because they don't have the heart to say it out loud, because they wish they could be the man that you are. I personally think, look how great America is. America is the beacon of freedom, the leader of the free world. Look at all of the things that white men have created that society benefits off of. We hate straight white males. What is Mark Zuckerberg? What is Jeff Bezos? We can't pick and choose what white guys we like and don't like. Without these white men, we are not where we are at all. Without Henry Ford saying, you know what, man, I think I want to make a car. Without the Wright brothers saying, let's put this damn thing in the sky. If you know who Jesse Lee Peterson is, he has he's named July White History Month. And you should check out Jesse Lee Peterson, a funny guy. But the hate, I believe, is because these guys were great inventors, and you have to make them not want to push for the future, to not be great, to not push levels. Elon Musk isn't like simply because he's pushing to space, not pushing to let me take care of the poor black people in the world. I personally believe every white guy is connected to infinite intelligence, just like every other human walking this planet. There's no reason that we had the Ralph Waldo Emersons and the James Allens and they ain't falling off. I personally think that white guys could have us all on space right now if they weren't demonized by their color or distracted with video or you name it. It's time we take our mind back and realize that our young boys are fantastic and we're unlimited creators. There's a book called The Boy Crisis that I think everyone should check out, and it talks about the boys and what's going on in America today and what we can do to save our boys. And then another book that I want to recommend that everyone check out, it's called Color, Communism, and Common Sense, and I'll link it in the description box below. And it was written by Manning Johnson. Now, Manning Johnson, I don't know if you heard of him, but he was in the military. And he said he started to realize that communism had infiltrated America and it was trying to cause a race war. He said the issues between the races in the early 1900s to about 1930s or 40s had almost disappeared. So they had to create a problem. So there was a bunch of communist groups that was going through Black Alabama and the rural South that were spreading communism to black people and teaching them to hate capitalism and to hate the white man. Once again, that book is called Color, Communism, and Common Sense, and it was written by Manning Johnson. Fantastic book. And if you don't want to read the book, you can go on YouTube and listen to a little clip of it. And everything he says is, we talked about building our own hospitals. We talked about building our own schools, and no one wanted us to do that. They wanted us to go in and disrupt the white communities. Even if you go back and you look at old videos of the sit-ins, it's like, why did you force a sit-in? Like, black people had their own everything, and I'm gonna go over to this white neighborhood and I'm gonna force my way into your restaurant, and I'm gonna sit here, and I'm gonna cause a scene. Like, it's weird because we complain about black poverty, but 60 years ago, we was begging white people, please take our money, white people, please, white man, let me in your establishment. And then the white man was like, all right, you know what? F it, come on in. And here we are now talking about we don't have no resources in our community and we don't have nothing. Well, you begged to be a part of their stuff. And give it 20 years from now, and then we'll beg for, right now colleges are asking for safe spaces and black only spaces. And then you fast forward 20 years and it's it's racist because white people aren't around us. And then the politicians will be trying to force it. It's a cycle. It's a crazy, stupid cycle because no one stops to think for themselves. Our society can feed off the world's low self-esteem and just manipulate people to think whatever they want. When I was in elementary, I never thought growing up that I would be taught that white guys are my enemies. I loved the Generation X when I was a kid. I loved Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage and Sting. If it wasn't watching wrestling with white guys, I mean, when Jason Williams would throw the crazy passes behind the back in basketball, whenever you had a white basketball player that could really hoop, it was great. I mean, when the professor came in part of And One, from growing up in an urban environment, whenever you met a white guy who was into the same things that you did, it was dope. It never was you look down on him or you dislike him. I always loved when I found another white basketball player and we could play on the same team and we can sync up and I can throw him an alley-oop or we can throw backdoor passes and get that chemistry. One of my best friends is a guy named Blake. We worked at Sprint together. Shout out Blake Owens. That's my guy. He was a tech at Sprint, take the phones apart. Man, we used to sit and laugh and joke for hours. I've never looked at life and thought someone's skin color played a role in the type of person they are. I mean, we did so many pranks and jokes on people, man. It was hilarious. So my thoughts about the video is I love it. Once I say, man, shout out to the gang. Shout out to all the subscribers. It feels like family, the fact that there's so many other people who realize we're all being manipulated. Our brains are being played with and we're not having it. We're not going to take it anymore. That's one of them old songs. I can't tell you who sang that. I ain't up on music like that. But thanks for watching the video. Thanks for supporting the channel. Once again, man, the goal is to keep providing knowledge as well as upgrading my content to give a better delivery. With that being said, spread love, spread positive vibes. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. If you like the video, hit the like button. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Help me get to 1 million subscribers. Help me change the world so we all can change the world. Until next time, YouTube, keep being the light in this dark environment. No faith is needed around you when there is faith within you, and we are out.